guys. So, there's been this thing going around, Fedor versus Brock Lesnar. First off, I want to state that, well, first off, I have a lot of experience. I've been doing Toshindo and Bujinkan ninjitsu and since I've been 4.5, and mixed martial arts, judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai since I've been 5.5 and I'm 15. So I do know what I am talking about when I say these things. Secondly, I want to state that I have no problem with either fighter. Brock Lesnar is probably the hardest working guy in the entire UFC. If you look at his training regimen, he's an animal. Also, any references that I make or any facts that I state that I actually have a website for, I will let you know the reference. Okay, so here we go. So, I saw this video on why Fedor would lose to Brock Lesnar. And I'm going to try to get it as a video response. I want to make it clear I have no disrespect for that guy either, even though I disagree. Now, let's look at the facts for each fighters. Once again, no disrespect is intended on any of the facts that I state. Let's start off with Brock Lesnar, and let's look at his Wikipedia page. That's going to be my reference for the following facts. So, Brock Lesnar originated from the WWE, which is, of course, American Pro Wrestling. But his fighting style is real wrestling, as in the kind that you would do in high school, college, the Olympics, etc. Also known as, there are 3 styles. Freestyle, which is like singles and doubles and all the shoots. Greco-Roman, which is like completely upper body. Not allowed to grab their feet or anything. It's completely upper body. You're picking them up and slamming them with your arms. And then you have folk style, which is specifically tailored for high school competition, college competition, to make it safer for younger people while still making it a combat sport. Brock Lesnar has taken, I believe, all 3 of these wrestling styles. I know he's taking collegiate, or freestyle, whatever, and Greco-Roman. And I'm not sure about folk style, but he probably has done that too. Now, he's very popular because he had fans from the WWE, and now he's a UFC champion. So it's safe to say that he's had a success with popularity, fame, and combat all in all. He's a Division I All-American wrestler, currently the UFC champion, and he has been like a 3-time WWE champion. And they only let the really popular guys be the WWE champion. I read that in like a book in the 6th grade on professional wrestling. They only let the most popular guys be champions, the ones the fans like. So, obviously, Lesnar does have a big audience. Mixed martial arts wise, let's look at who he's fought and beaten. His first fight was against a South Korean judoka, which is a judo practitioner / K1 kickboxer. At this point, he has a total of 5 fights in kickboxing, 4 wins, none by knockout, and 1 loss via knockout. In his mixed martial arts career as of today, he has 10 fights, 3 wins, 2 by submission, 1 by knockout, and 7 losses, which clearly is not the best of records. He has fought Scott Junk in kickboxing, and defeated him. Scott Junk was in the Ultimate Fighter heavyweights, and he almost ended up, I believe, getting an eye injury and not ever being able to fight again. He lost to Bob Sapp in mixed martial arts, who was the guy I've talked about that Crow Cop made cry like a little girl. He's fought Brock Lesnar, of course, who he lost to, and submitted from punches. So, he won against him, as I said, submission punches, at a minute and 9, and this was Brock Lesnar's mixed martial arts debut. Next, he had his UFC debut, in which he lost to Frank Mir via a knee bar in the first round at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Frank Mir just last night beat Mirko Cro Cop, and he's starting to rise up again. He knocked him out when there was like 58 seconds left. Nonetheless, I think Mir is a tiny bit overrated, but he's still a great submission artist nonetheless. He is 14-5 as of last night. He's knocked out Cro Cop with a knee. Got knocked out by Carwin via punches, which were pretty in-close, short-range punches. He dropped Chet Congo and tapped him out via guillotine. He got defeated by Brock Lesnar. He fought Brock Lesnar the first time and won, but then lost, which later on we'll talk about. He broke Tim Sylvia's arm via armbar. First round, 50 seconds. He put the freaking toehold on Tank Abbott. He's got his famous highlight submission over Pete Williams from inside the guard at about 45 seconds. He had his arm like all the way over here in his guard, and he almost looked like Lyoto Machida tapping out. And the first time I saw that, I was like, well, Machida's undefeated, and this was a long time ago because of Mir's trunks and the clock. So how could this be possible unless it was the next exhibition, and it wasn't. But this was Pete Williams, for the guys that don't know. He's beat Wes Sims twice, and lost to Brandon Vera, submitted Anthony Hardonk, TKO'd Big Nog, and that's the guys that I would say the notable guys he's fought and the notable fights he's had. Just because, that highlight submission over Pete Williams was incredible. Now, let's look at Keith Haring. Now, in a lot of people's opinions, the guy's never been top 10. As we know, he is the Texas Crazy Horse. Now let's look at who he's fought. He fought Vitor Belfort, however lost by decision. This was in Pride. Beat a random guy, and I don't know if that's Big Nog or Lil Nog. It's Big Nog. He lost to Big Nog by also a unanimous decision in Pride 17. He lost to Fedor Emelianenko via doctor stoppage. He lost to Mirko Cro Cop. He lost to Big Nog once again. He defeated Gary Goodridge. He lost to Big Nog again. He beat Chet Congo. And he lost to Brock Lesnar. So, a decent bit of the notable guys he's fought, he's lost to. Now let's head over to the next guy Brock Lesnar has beaten. Randy Couture. While he's 19-10, his record, he's been in the UFC since UFC 13, and I believe back then, it was just tourneys in Augusta, Georgia. Now, at this point, almost all of his fights that he's won and lost have been title shots. So, let's look at who he's beaten and lost to. He got a decision over Jeremy Horn. He has defeated Chuck Liddell via punches and won the interim title. He won the light heavyweight title via Tito Ortiz and was the first man at that point to hold 2 titles. He's fought Vitor Belfort twice, lost the first time and lost his title. then came back and defeated him with a doctor stoppage, giving him the heavyweight title. He lost it to Chuck Liddell, fought a random guy and submitted him with an anaconda choke, then came back and lost to Chuck Liddell once more for the title. He defeated Tim Sylvia on his next fight and gained the title, then defeated Gabriel Gonzaga, won the title, and received Fight of the Night honors. Lost to Brock Lesnar, and lost to Antonio Big Nog, He defeated Brandon Vera in his return to the light heavyweight division, following by beating Mark Coleman, who was a fellow UFC Hall of Famer, and at one of the closer pay-per-views to our time right now, he defeated boxing legend James Toney, making it the final stand for boxing versus mixed martial arts from what we know. Now, we've already talked about Mir. He beat Randy Couture, and he beat Frank Mir again, and defended his title, became undisputed. Next, he defeated Shane Carwin. Let's look at Shane Carwin for what he's done and who he's beat. Now, Shane Carwin is one of the few guys in the division that is Brock Lesnar size. Shane Carwin is very big, and he has a lot of explosive muscle fibers. Before he fought Brock Lesnar and lost, he had knocked out Gabriel Gonzaga. He had knocked out Frank Mir. But his thing was that there was not, he was undefeated, and not a single one of his fights had gone to the second round. Never gone past the first. No one had ever made it out of the first. Now, this guy's been around since UFC 84. But when he fought Gabriel Gonzaga, that's when people started to realize who this guy was. When he fought Frank Mir for the interim title and won knockout of the night, he was able to face Brock Lesnar, however lost. This guy has very heavy hands. He is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Division II wrestler, All-American, I believe. And note that it's not really that big of a deal that he's Division II over Brock Lesnar's Division I. Because, as he stated, the best two wrestlers in the world right now are Division II. The division simply means how big the conference is, how many different talents are in the area that the division is. I believe that Texas, the school I'm at, is a Division I wrestling. And next, he's set to fight Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez is Hispanic, I believe Mexican American. He's a fellow Division I wrestler, purple belt in Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu. He's 8-0. He's beaten Chet Congo via decision, Ben Rothwell, and knocked out Big Nog. He has very fast hands, and he's a very good wrestler. I don't have much time left, so I have to end it here. In part 2, we'll talk about Fedor, who he's fought, and who he's beaten. Thank you. This has been part 1.